Well, John,
Hello, Oliver.
today we're going to talk about Meatless Monday in Irish schools.
Meatless Monday in Irish schools. It's another effort on this useless and anti-Irish government to introduce something into schools and give the impression to school children and perhaps society at large that eating meat is kind of suspect, and you're helping the environment or some other old nonsense that they've come out with.
What do you actually think of this idea of Meatless Monday? Do you think it's healthy?
Well, I think it is not anything like healthy. Obviously, children sometimes in schools come to school with sandwiches or whatever their parents give them. In most cases in Irish schools, as far as I know, no meals are supplied, as it happens in other countries where a varied diet is supplied. I'm not aware of any country, except a country that perhaps is like the Sahara Desert or somewhere, where you can't have meat because there's no grass. This country has been a great supplier to the world of quality meat products. Mr. Bruton and this government have seen fit to try to destroy society. They've already closed many towns and villages from the enterprise that they possessed before they permitted a monopoly situation to obtain in the food trade and the grocery trade with the multiplicity of supermarkets from abroad, German discount stores, etc. So here he is now, and they've destroyed the farmers with the fruit and veg. Here he is now trying to destroy the farmers with cattle. They've stopped growing fruit and veg. So are they trying to destroy that now as well and send a message abroad that meat is bad for you? Did you ever hear such nonsense? It's the fact that he's promoting this as being something aiding the climate, as if cattle in fields, this nonsensical idea that somehow or other they have something to do with the environment, when only a lunatic would even think such a thing. And it's a kind of a catch-all situation, this climate change nonsense. Human beings have no effect on the environment. That is under the control of nature, and nature will wreak its own revenge in due course because of the behaviour of people of this calibre.
Okay. So overall, you don't actually agree with Meatless Monday. Even one day a week without meat, would that not be good?
Well, you see, it should never come into the business of the government interfering with what families and parents of children do. Children, they say, often influence parents because they're a bit spoiled nowadays compared to what they were. When I was young, meat was quite expensive. And when you did get meat, you were as happy as Larry because it just was too expensive. Now people can afford to have meat, but like everything else in moderation. But for the state and Mr. Bruton to come out with this business, the same as this government, every one of them seem to be coming out with something that is interfering with people's choice. People will make choices, hopefully, to benefit themselves without having to be told by Mr. Bruton and this government what they should eat and what they shouldn't eat, and using climate change as a kind of ridiculous reason when a lot of people don't accept this idea of climate change. They call it climate genocide.
There was a time in Ireland when we did have a meatless Friday and we ate fish.
Well, that's right. That was especially during Lent, but that was the policy at the time. And of course, it helped our fishermen because we had a great fishing industry in this country, and people did eat fish, which was, in my time, parents told us it was good for your brain. So that was one way of getting it.
That's why you were so smart.
Maybe so.
You know everything, John Malone.
I had fish on a Friday, and sometimes you could eat something else because oftentimes some of us are not that fond of fish, but we did eat fish, herring and all the rest of it, and so we and place and this, that and the other. So that was done from the Catholic religion point of view, and probably it had benefits as well, because don't forget, during Lent, and I recall this when I was young, people gave up a lot of stuff like alcohol and cigarettes, that smoked cigarettes. My father did that. And you know, oftentimes they were the better for it by the time Easter Sunday come around. And even on St. Patrick's Day they didn't break out, because public houses was closed on Patrick's Day in my time, and up to not that long ago. And by the way, when I was working in the pet food sector, and we used to have, there was a dog show in the RDS, that was the only place you could get a drink. So hence there was a good few customers coming in on St. Patrick's Day that had nothing to do with dogs, so they could have a drink. So, but now this government, another thing that they've done to try to destroy the Catholic faith, because that's their game. Now they are allowing Good Friday for drink to be served on Good Friday. An abomination against what we stand for in during Lent and coming up to Good Friday and Easter Sunday. An abomination. So they really are interfering with what people do in their time in the country, and dictating to them what they should say and what they shouldn't say. They have an agenda now that you can't. But well, certainly say it. I do. You can't say anything about the race problem that we have in the country. The fact that we have so many people from other jurisdictions putting a terrible strain on society, aside from schools and the hospitals, just on themselves, as they meet all these people on buses and driving buses that having two English words to rub together.
Okay. There was a time, actually, when eating meat in Ireland, we take it for granted now, but it was a luxury at one stage.
Correct, it was a luxury. And I remember when I was working and earning money, and not big money, because there was no such thing as big money, you tucked into a charcoal grilled steak in some of the establishments. Dailies of Eden Key was one when I was in Dublin, and there was other places throughout the country. You tucked into that and were as happy as Larry, and you often spoke about it for the following week, because like you just didn't have the funds and they were expensive. Now, and families, when they had children, meat was scarce enough, but they did give meat, because a balanced diet is very good. I think this Mr. Bruton that has seen fit to bring in this obnoxious item in encouraging people perhaps to abstain from meat altogether, because that's his game. The same way now as he's instrumental in the baptismal barrier when he was Minister for Education, and introducing all sorts of anti-Catholic laws into the school system with all this gender business. I mean, they have no right to be interfering with what was considered freedoms that people should be able to make up their own mind. We're not all imbeciles like they are.
It looks like there's no sign of John Malone becoming a vegetarian.
Well, certainly not, because if there's the only day that I don't eat meat is a Friday, because that's the way I was brought up. But I don't be tucking into fish. It might be a tinned salmon, which is very nice, and I can polish that off nicely, or it might be beans. And
okay.
Of course,
I'm just wondering, John, just one last question before we go. Could there be a financial agenda here? For example, will they put an extra tax on meat, because they're saying that, well, if you're eating meat, you're going to destroy
you'll probably find
the
that
climate.
There is that agenda, because this government came in as being competent and honest and all the rest of it. Their laws and their referendums, and they're interfering with the people of this country and trying to inflict all sorts of peculiar ideas on them by way of this gender business and all the rest of it is abhorrent to most people, and they've no right to sort of inflict all these things on people, and one doesn't know where to end. Here they're trying to talk about what people should eat, you know, and what they should do there is advise people that are obese to be prudent in what they eat and the quantities. That's common sense. But this business of what this gentleman is at, this Mr. Britain, I call him Mr. Britain.
I mean, we have the sugar tax. They're saying that the soft drinks are bad for you, and that's fair enough. Okay. Then we have the massive tax that's put on cigarettes. It looks to me as if they're going to put a tax on meat.
Well, this is what I think it could very well be, and I wouldn't be surprised because they have inflicted a lot of harm on society, in my view, and they've inflicted a lot of this diversity that they yap about. None of us look for this diversity, but is this courtesy of the EU? Is this why people in Britain and in other countries now want to get out of it? Aside from whatever economic benefits you're supposed to get. By the way, we paid in $1 billion more last year than we received. They don't highlight that. But anything pertaining to the wonderful work that the Catholic Church is doing throughout the world, the biggest providers of health and education throughout the world, and dietary probably as well, in a common sense way, this crowd is trying to destroy it. So they have to be resisted. And John Malone and the Christian and Jogs Action Party is completely against this business of Mr. Bruton interfering with what children eat or don't eat. We hear people being hungry going to school because their parents are neglectful and all the rest of it. Address those issues. Address the issues of homelessness in the country, where Irish people are homeless and where upwards of 750,000 people from other jurisdictions are in houses and apartments. Address those issues and stop interfering and trying to ruin people's lives with the policies that they're pursuing.
Thank you very much, John.
Thank you very much, Albert.